14, 2022 meeting of the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is now called to order. If everyone would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Municipal Code Enforcement Board is charged with conducting hearings to determine whether an alleged violation of the city code has occurred. Decisions made by this quasi-judicial board will be based on the evidence and facts presented this evening. Our meetings are conducted in accordance with Robert's Rules of Order, and each case will begin with the city presenting its evidence of the alleged violation. The respondent will then present his or her case. Both parties will have an opportunity to cross-examine all witnesses. The board members may question any witness. Comments by both parties must be relevant to the case. Persons wishing to speak will be given an opportunity to do so by the chair and must address the board from the podium after giving their name and address. Upon request, copies of materials submitted by staff are available for review. Board members are reminded to obtain permission to speak from the chair, and questions of the city should be directed to the attorney for the city. This time, I'll ask all persons who expect to give testimony this night to please stand and be sworn in by the city clerk.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Okay. Are we taking any cases out of order tonight?
No, the case that is here is the first case on the agenda, so we can go in order.
Mark that down, guys. First time we've ever gone in order. Okay, but before we do that, we're going to talk about ex parte communications. At this time, I'd like to ask the board members if they've had any ex parte communications regarding any matters coming before the Code Enforcement Board this evening. If you've had verbal communications, please disclose the sum and substance of the communications, when and where the communications occurred, and with whom it occurred. If you've had written communications, please disclose the nature of the communications and provide a copy to the city clerk to be filed with the record. Starting with you.
I've had none.
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 Thank you. Approval of the minutes. Hopefully everybody's had a chance to read the August 10, 2022 meeting minutes. Does anybody have any changes or additions or clarifications? If not, I'll accept a motion to accept the minutes.
I move that we accept the minutes.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ernie, you look like you had something to say. You're good? All right. All right.
Keep this rolling. Yeah.
Okay. First time in a long time, we are taking each case in the order presented in the agenda. So the first case will be 21-7126.
Yes. Case number 227126, City versus Lujane.
Is it 21 or 22?
It is 21.
Okay.
21. Case number 217126, City versus Lujane Marzouk for the property located at 13202 North 53rd Street. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12860, inoperative vehicle, outdoor storage equipment, Section 12901, pools duty to maintain, and Section 1034, sanitation, keep premises clean. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively December the 29th, 2021. My inspection revealed an in-op with no tag on the driveway, tree debris accumulation, trash, a wooden tree stand in disrepair on the north side, unsanitary pool conditions, and the front fence gate was not secured as to prevent unauthorized entry into the vacant lot. At that time, I went directly to a notice of violation with the compliance dated January 17th, 2022. My inspection on December the 30th, 2021 revealed the front gate had been secured to prevent entry into the property, which again is a vacant lot. I posted the notice letter at the front gate of the property and requested a copy be sent first class and certified mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violations taken by me on December the 29th, 2021 and August the 23rd, 2022.
Accept those. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front gate of the vacant lot property. Exhibit number 2 shows the inoperative vehicle with no tag on the vacant lot. Exhibit number 3 shows the unsanitary swimming pool cover. Exhibit number 4 shows the swimming pool is not being maintained. Exhibit number 5 shows the tree stand debris accumulation north side of the property. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Marzook contacted me on January the 11th, or Mrs. Marzook, I'm sorry, excuse me, Miss Marzook contacted me on January the 11th, 2022, and asked for an extension until February 17th, 2022 to correct the violations. Ms. Marzook contacted me again on February the 25th, 2022, and said the tree debris on the south side of the property had been removed. Mr. Marzook contacted me on March the 23rd, 2022, and stated the pool had been cleaned and covered. The NOP he would get a tag for, and the remaining debris accumulations would be removed. Since then, there had been progress towards compliance, so I granted him an additional month extension until April the 23rd, 2022. I contacted Ms. Marzook on May 15th, 2022 about a status update. She said she was going out of the country with her family and for a month and asked for a month's additional extension until she returned. Since June the 15th, I have called Ms. Marzook and left several messages about meeting on site to discuss the unsanitary pool conditions and the remaining debris accumulations, but I did not receive a phone call back. As of today's date, the site is not in compliance and I am seeking a ruling.
Are any of the, so all 3 code violations still exist?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Is the,
And-
oh, sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Is the pool secured? I mean, is it open for,
The front gate, it's a vacant lot, Mr. Snelling, so there is a chain link fence going around the entire property. Like I said, on my initial inspection, there was no chain, there was no lock to secure entry into the lot. That's the reason I went directly to a notice of violation. The next day, yes, sir, there was a chain, there was a lock to secure that. The pool has got that covering over it to prevent contamination inside. Unfortunately, with all the rain, the cover is just, I mean, it's almost completely in the pool now because it's flat. I think possibly maybe if Mr. Marzook went maybe to a different structure, like Tom was saying, maybe a pillow type where it was like this, with being all the rain, it would roll off versus just sag that cover down into the pool.
it's in the property, is there a house?
No, sir, there's not.
Oh, it's just strictly a vacant lot?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, okay.
There was a house years ago.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Fire there.
Oh, okay,
The house has been demoed, and it's just a vacant lot.
okay, all right, thanks.
Any other questions?
Yes, recently, like in August, you did not try to contact her.
No, sir, not in August, I did not. Like I said, I had called several times to ask for a meeting on site, and being that I had spoken to her more than Mr. Marzook, I was trying to make contact with her. I did not receive a phone call back. Before she went out of the country, I asked, upon your return, please reach out to me. Let's meet on site to discuss and you know, let me see what's in compliance, what we still need to bring into compliance. The Marzooks we're working on bringing the property into compliance as code officers. That's what our ultimate goal is to bring the property into compliance. They were making those efforts and trying to bring the property in compliance, so I granted additional extensions.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is the respondent here?
Yes, sir. Mr. Marzook is here and would like to address the board.
Come on up, state your name and address for the record first, please. Name and address, please.
13202 53rd, 53rd,
And your name for the record, please.
Mu'taz Marzouk.
Thank you.
The property being the same way, actually, in being worse condition for 20 years. It had a house on it 20 years ago. The house is burned down, and it's been, and I did improve that property way better than it was before. So within the last, I would say, 10 years, that property being improved. The pool is being the same way, actually. It's been much better, worse condition. I did try to cover it. I did cover it. I did put it in the fence and put the lock on it. I do have a car. Actually, I'm using that car for security, for having security camera in there. I'm trying to get electric on there. There is no power on there. I can't really get that pool to get filtration and get, work. But I do have a company who's really trying to get me some, actually they put in some chemical on that pool so it wouldn't have an issue. The grass being cut, I have a lawnmower person which really live next door. They cutting the grass. Honestly, until just now, I was speaking to her, I wasn't sure what's exactly wanted, what she needed exactly. We talked about changing, putting certain things to secure that pool. And I asked for the extension. That's it.
Okay, any questions for the respondent?
Yeah, so how long do you think it would take you to, I guess there's a vehicle on there that needs a license tag?
Well, the license tag about this, somebody broke into that and they took the license tag. It had a license tag on the vehicle and they took it off. And then actually I'm not using that car. The car is broke down and maybe I have to tow that car or put it somewhere. So I'm using it for security, for have like some tools and put in some battery booster to use cameras on there. That's what I'm using it for. But it's not an actual vehicle on the road so I'm not sure if I need to get the vehicle, the license plate is being stolen. And somebody spray some, I don't know if you have a picture or not of that. Somebody spray some words on this and some cursing words
Yes.
on the vehicles. And and honestly, to be honest with you, this is what I see. My neighbor on that land, I had that land for a while, and my neighbor wants to buy that land so bad. And every time I do anything, they call in. Every time, anything they see, because this has been in way bad condition for 20 years. So they keep calling. Regardless what I do, I'm going to keep getting calls. So they're trying to sell it to me, and I'm sorry, they're trying to buy it from me, and they want to buy it so bad. And I say, I don't want to sell it. So that's exactly what's the main issue, because this has been the exactly same issue, or much worse for 20 years, even before I owned that land. But the neighbors now, they put in their they put in their eyes on the land, and they want it so bad. And that's why they keep calling. That's it.
Any other questions?
Well, I wasn't quite through, so kind of got sidetracked there. But so, as far as I know, and you guys can correct me, if the vehicle doesn't have tags and it's not drivable, it's going to be a violation forever. I mean, you have to do something.
We take it off.
And the other, I think there was some trash. Was one of this the other one of the.
Is trash still there?
The tree stand debris accumulation, Mr. Marzuk, remember the tree stand was up, you had it taken down, but the tree stand debris is still on the north side of the property, sir.
That's way down. That's
It's still
It's
on
a-
the lot though, it's debris accumulation.
okay.
It was
Do you have a picture of that, ma'am?
Again, you
Yeah,
can discuss that with her later.
Yeah, we.
Oh, okay.
We were shown a picture. So
Okay,
anyway,
yes.
and then thirdly, the pool itself. Do you have a plan to bring that into compliance also? And can all this be done in 30? We typically would give 30 days to fix the problems, but.
I honestly thought it's being fixed, but it seems like it's not. So we discussed just a little bit of things. She gave me some ideas right now what you need to do.
Okay.
And I'm hoping I can do it within 30 days.
Okay.
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 Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Seeing no other questions, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll try it.
Okay, thank you.
In case number 217126, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 13202 North 53rd Street with the violation codes section 12-860 and section 12901 and section 1034.
Turn
He can't hear you. The microphone.
And section 12.860 and section 12-01 and section 10-34.
12-9.
12-901.
12,
I tell you what, why don't we start over? Okay, take your time.
okay. In case number 217126, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 13202 North 53rd Street with the applicable violation code section 12-860 and section 12-901 and section 10-34. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, all which is received and entered as part of this record. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before
12.
October 12, 2022. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date for this compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violations, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator. And since the violation, he's trying to do that, I move that the amount be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Can I, is this when I say something?
You could add
You
four.
get-
If we get a second.
After you get a
can say-
second.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't hear a second, so no seconds? Okay, so motion fails for lack of a second. I need a new motion, please.
Is it the amount?
That would be my argument. This has been going on for nearly a year, for 8 months, with very little progress. I mean, progress has been being made, but
I took in consideration that it's a vacant lot, and from the sworn testimony that he's had, that it's been in worse condition. I don't know that, if Lori can also explain that.
Actually, you
I don't
didn't
think
vote
it-
hard.
I don't think a vacant lot really, I mean, it depends on what it's the neighborhood. The neighbors are gonna be upset by it.
Especially with the pool, like, I mean, even if it's a vacant lot, having a pool like that with just water sitting, that's just gonna harbor bugs
If
and
I
mosquitoes, and
adjust
I
it
wouldn't wanna
to
live next to that.
$50 per day, would that motion be passed?
that was what I was after. Yeah, something with a little bit more impetus.
I thought because some of the issues, like moving the vehicle, that would have been easy.
Well, yeah, I mean, if he can move the vehicle within a month, this will be a moot point.
I think that would be doable too, so, I can adjust it to $50 per day.
Also, to be consistent, we have typically, for multiple violations, we always,
I understand
More
that,
than
but I
25,
took in
right?
consideration, I understood that clearly but I took in consideration that the trying
Fact of
and
the
the
matter is
efforts,
The
because,
original motion failed, so it's not a matter of amending.
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We need a new motion made on this particular case. So
Yes, I
who
keep.
would like to do that?
Yeah, it's, if you,
And it shouldn't be Rod.
oh, okay.
I mean,
you can,
Oh, he can't do a second motion.
No,
They're out of commission.
I already tried,
Okay, all right. Okay, all right, so let me go.
from my point of view.
All right, so let me go through this. So case number 217126, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence of the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 13202 North 53rd Street. The code violations are section 12-860, 12-910, and 10-34. This motion is based on the sworn testimony the board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith and Mr. Marzook, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before October 12th. 22. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day of the violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $50 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in,
mention one thing? It's also I wanted to add, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and I saw, according to Lori, he did some actions. He tried. So that's just wanted to,
Okay, thank you.
That's why I
any
consider
other,
that.
any further discussion?
I usually do that.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
You had something you wanted to say?
Yes.
Too late, we already voted.
Oh.
All those opposed? Motion carries, yes.
So sorry, sir. I believe Mr. Snelling said on the violation, he stated at 12:9:10. It should be 12:9:01 for the record, sir.
Okay, I thought, I
Okay.
heard 12901, but,
I thought I said 1291, but
okay,
anyway.
but the record should reflect the 12901. So, sir, through all of this, you have been found guilty of violating 3 codes. You have 30 days to bring that property into compliance. If that property is not brought into compliance by October 12th, you will start receiving a fine of $50 a day until the property is brought into compliance. Okay? Thank you. And if you have any questions, don't wait. Call the code department, and they can explain to you what has to be done, okay? And it's probably a good idea to have somebody meet one of the code enforcement officers out there so they can walk the property with you, so everybody's on the same page, okay? Thank you. Next case, please.
Mr. Marzouk is also here for the case on unfinished business.
Okay, let's take care of that then.
Okay.
I knew we couldn't go through this.
Case number 21-7044, City versus Mutaz Marzouk for the property located at 7545 Terrace River Drive. The extended deadline for compliance is tonight at midnight, and again, Mr. Marzouk is here.
Mr. Marzouk, did you want to say anything about this particular case?
Yeah.
Come on up, state your name and address for the record again, please.
Mu'taz Marzouk, 7545 Terrace River Drive. I was given an extension last month, actually, for
Before you continue, why don't you just bring us up to speed on what the violation was and what you've done? I know it says permits required, but are you?
Good evening, Jose Civil Code Compliance. This is a case that was presented back at the beginning of the year regarding the retaining wall in the backyard.
Oh, okay, very good, thank you. That's all you need to say.
Yep, we got that
We
one.
all got a vivid picture.
Okay, I believe they would stop orders to get a permit.
Yes,
And I did try to get a permit. I came to the office, actually more than once. I had actually, at first they asked me to speak to Mr. McCarthy, the engineer. I went to them, spoke to Mr. McCarthy about a month ago, actually, before even we came in here. Last week, actually, a few days ago, I came to do the, is Mr. McCarthy here?
No,
He's not, okay.
The engineer.
Okay, so I came to do the permit. So I got a letter from the, I don't know who will give it to.
give it to the attorney. The attorney.
Attorney's that guy, yeah.
I got this, and I got this. I got a letter from the engineer, actually, private engineer, and water engineer as well. I was trying to submit it to the office in here to get a permit. And they said, at first, you need to speak to Mr. McCarthy. So I tried to call Mr. McCarthy, and I left him so many messages. I sent him, I left him with the secretary and everything. I haven't got a call back. I'm not sure why you want to speak to Mr. McCarthy. Why don't I get all the equipment,
Let's cut to the chase. Do you currently have a permit?
No.
Okay, what stage are you in? Have you submitted anything to get a permit?
Yes, this is what I tried to submit it, but they will not take
Hang
it.
on, you said you tried. Has anything actually been submitted?
Oh, I submitted before I even,
Okay, you submitted before, and they told you you had to get drawings, and you had to get an engineer.
Exactly.
And apparently you've got all
I
or,
got that.
all or some of that. Have you submitted that to the proper department so they can review it?
yes, I did.
And what was their response?
Respond, I need to speak to Mr. McCarthy.
Okay,
And I called Mr. McCarthy, I can't get a response. So Gus, I believe, from the department, he said, you come to the, actually not Gus. You spoke to me yesterday?
I spoke to you on the phone yesterday.
Oh, okay. He asked me to come over and ask for
yeah,
extension.
he came, because we were meeting tonight.
Okay.
So bottom line is, as of right this moment, you still do not have a permit. You still have not actually submitted anything for review to get a permit. Is that correct?
No, that's not correct. I tried to submit it, but they would not take it.
You tried to submit, but it wasn't accepted, so nothing has been accepted for submittal.
Okay, but I
Did you get
still,
anything in writing from the permit department that's told you why?
this is what she gave me.
She gave you something handwritten?
Yeah, I mean, she
Give
told me
it to the attorney, give it to the attorney.
She told me to speak to Mr. McCarthy, and she gave me his phone number. And also this is what she did, and I gave her, this is what I did.
Can code compliance,
It, just for the
Give any
record,
input on that?
states,
No.
that needs structural info on the wall and location of wall on the survey.
And that's what being
Oh, okay.
displayed on the survey.
Okay, so that's clarifications to what he submitted,
I think it was saying, yeah, what it needs.
what it needs, yeah, okay. Is that the drawing you gave us, is that a copy?
That's a copy, yes.
So you have something, you have another one?
I have, yeah,
Okay,
Oh, these.
yes, I do.
all right, thank you. I think you can sit down.
I
So,
have a question for you.
go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
These, I can see these are not structural drawings. You need to have elaborate structured drawings on these plans to be able to submit it. Maybe that's why they referred you to the engineer. That's from the notes also, I can tell, but this is just,
You have a question?
so I just wanted to ask, is the plan was done by an engineer? This plan, right here?
This is,
I can see the letter from the engineer stating that there's nothing wrong with this, and he signed and sealed on it, but they usually require plans, actual plans.
That plan isn't sealed, is it?
And that's not sealed, and that's not a structural plan. So that's why I'm trying to let them know that, and it's a question and at the same time, an explanation of that. So,
Okay, so you'd like to have an extension? Is that the bottom line here?
yeah, but also I really don't know where I go from there. So after doing this,
Can you, go up to the podium, please, so we can.
Yeah, come up to the podium, and let Moses say.
okay,
So here's my suggestion.
yes, sir.
We will be voting on whether or not to give you an extension in a minute, okay? Should you get that extension, you need to get with the code officer, and he'll talk to you about what steps you need to do. You can't just take a handwritten note and say, here's what's done, okay? You've got it, in order to cure the violation, you need to get a permit, okay? What you need to do to get that permit, that's not in our purview, okay? Come on up, yeah.
I just think one thing is, I think there's miscommunication here. He needs an engineer letter, and he's going to the city of Temple Terrace, to our engineer, that we have, Brian McCarthy, to utilize our engineer for his drawings.
We can't do that, you gotta get your own
He needs
engineer,
an independent
yeah.
engineer.
Well, that's,
I have that.
he does that. He has
an engineer,
He
but
has a
but he
letter.
doesn't have any, the handwritten note, which I don't know why we gave him a handwritten note, but that's a different question, says he needs structural calculations, et cetera. So you need to actually get engineered drawings,
Yeah,
not just somebody that says what you got is good. And that engineered drawing needs to address the wall, and it needs to address whatever landscaping you've done in the backyard. I understand that you've done quite a bit of landscaping in the backyard as well. So do you follow? Do you understand? So you need to get a topographical map of the property that shows the new landscaping, the elevations, and you need to get engineered drawing for the wall before the city of Temple Terrace will give you a permit. That's what you need to get done. You need to get that done. If you get the extension, you need to get that done within the next 30 days.
Okay. Now, do I still need to go back to Mr. McCarthy?
No, you need to get the drawings done first, because Mr. McCarthy's gonna just tell you probably what I just told you.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt him to go back and.
No, it's not gonna hurt, but he's gonna tell you
Probably
probably
give us-
exactly what we just told you, so.
But
I mean, you can confirm that with him if you like, but, you know, if your efforts may be better off trying to find an engineer to get you the right drawings.
He has an engineer. Your engineer knows exactly what needs to be done.
Yeah.
So talk to your engineer. You have a letter from him. He knows exactly what the city is looking for. So talk to your engineer and tell him,
Okay.
It looks
what
like-
can I do to get in compliance?
Wait a minute, from what I just read in your engineer's letter, it said that he needed the water analysis done from a drainage expert. You also have that. I don't think your engineer has seen that. So
There's
maybe,
two engineers there.
well, right, but the engineer for the wall.
Whatever it is, you need to get that worked out with
Right.
with the code officer, okay? What we're here tonight to deal with is whether or not he gets an extension. So if there's no further questions for the respondent, and if there's no further questions for the code officer, I will entertain a motion.
I motion to give an extension until the next meeting, which would be October 12th, 2022.
Okay, we have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Okay, you have received a 30-day extension. If for whatever reason it still isn't done after 30 days, we'll see you right back here on October 12th, okay? Next case, please.
We are going to skip
That-
down.
Oh, no.
Business?
We are gonna go back to hearings and skip down.
Oh,
Yes.
I knew it was too good to be true.
Change it up.
So that's gonna be case number 222760. City versus Hyacinth Hamilton for the property located at 5211 Parade Street. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of section 8, 103, 102, 13C, roofs maintained in good repair. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on May 23rd, 2022 for a tarped roof indicating a roof in disrepair. I went directly to a notice of violation on that date with a reinspection date of June 30th, 2022. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both regular and certified mail, to the owner of record. Our reinspection on August 30th showed no change, so I prepared a notice of hearing and scheduled the case for the September Municipal Code Board meeting. I did receive a letter from an attorney representing the resident who stated that the site was involved in a lawsuit against the homeowner's insurance company, and the settlement was expected in June, so I extended the deadline until July 28th, 2022. Before the July 28th deadline, I did receive an email stating that a settlement had been reached and funds should be released by late July. I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on May 24th and August 23rd, 2022.
Okay, do you happen to have the two emails you referred to?
No, sir, I don't. At this time, the site is not in compliance and I'm seeking a ruling, but I did receive a message from the resident, and Ms. Hyacinth's here, stating that she does have a contract with a roofing company and they should begin work on September 19th.
Very good. Okay. Any questions for the code officer? I don't see any, thank you. Does the respondent wish to say something?
Hi, my name is Hyacinth Hamilton.
He needs to be sworn in.
You haven't been sworn in? Okay, you need to be sworn in first.
What does that mean?
Raise your right hand.
You just have to raise your hand.
Raise your right hand.
Do you
Okay, you
swear
did,
or
sorry.
affirm- There you go. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony or evidence you're about to give or present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you're good. You're good to go ahead and
Okay, name and address for the record, please.
My name is Hyacinth Hamilton. The address is 5211 Parade Street in Temple Terrace, Florida, 33617. And I'd like to say I've been in this community over 20-something years, and it's been awesome, and you guys do a great job. I've never been here before, but my roof, yes, I had to submit a claim to get it done. The insurance placed a tarp over the roof, and now it has been settled, and the contract has been signed. Today they called to say if I wanted to change the shingles. I said whichever one's available ASAP. Now, they have the 19th as a start date. They say they'll do it in 3 days, so they might move it up to start the 14th. But when I call, they say they'll give me a 30-day extension, but they're gonna do the front porch, the roof, some inside wall over the garage. They're gonna remove the chimney because that was a source of some leakage, but the settlement has been made and everything's on target to be cleaned up, and I suspect everything should be done. I shouldn't have any more problems.
Okay, so whether they start the 14th or the 19th, it all should be done by our next meeting.
Yes, they will begin on the 19th officially, but they're thinking they can start earlier. I did tell them that I have some dates here. I want to make sure that I can get this done. Even
And their
quicker, the
estimate to
better.
complete all the work was 3 days?
They say they'll be done in 3 days. They scheduled to begin on the 19th, but if I get a official 30-day extension, it'll be awesome just to cover that.
You wouldn't be here for an extension. Typically, what would happen is, whether you're found in violation or not in violation, it would have to be in compliance by our next meeting, which is 30 days from now. So,
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure by then everything should be covered.
any questions for the respondent? If not, I will entertain a motion.
Try that one.
Go for it.
It's just on roof issue, right?
Yes.
There's a tarp on my
Yeah, there's a
roof.
tarp on the roof. yeah.
One code
issue,
violation.
One count.
Go for it.
Okay. Let me get just the case out, 1 second.
I have a permit, trees and everything, and the guy who was doing it said that they will
Hang on,
request.
hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, after, you guys can talk afterwards.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay, in case number 22-2760, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the city's Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 5211
Parade.
Street, with the applicable codes section violation 8-102 subsection 13 subsection C. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation of which is received, entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move the violations be corrected on or before October 12, 2022. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, the action taken by the violator to correct the violation, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion?
On it.
Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. So, ma'am, you have been found in violation of the code. You have 30 days to bring the violation into compliance, which means getting your 3-day new roof. What he was alluding to is you do need a separate permit for the roof. If by chance, and I don't know whether this is true or not, if you need electrical work as a result of the repairs, you'll need to get a separate electrical permit as well. Or if there's HVAC repairs as a result of the roof repairs, which there probably won't be, you'll need to get a separate HVAC permit. Your contractor should know all that.
yes, that's
But just let him, just maybe remind them, okay?
Yeah,
So you've got 30 days, so as long as everything is brought into compliance within 30 days, there will be no fine.
I have a contract just to trim up trees and to remove like a dead one.
Okay, well, there's no violation here for trees?
Right.
So it's not something that we should even discuss at the moment.
I asked about the.
Talk to the code officer.
Yeah, he said he would.
Next case, please.
Next case number 220800, City versus Robertson Restoration, Inc., for the property located at 5232 Maple Hill Drive. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 810213B, exterior walls maintained in good repair, Section 810213C, roofs maintained in good repair, and Section 810218A, sanitation shared area maintained in good repair. This case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Doug Allen. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and board members. Doug Allen, Code Compliance Officer. This case was originated by me on February 14th, 2022 for work without a permit and for stained exterior walls, damaged soffit and fascia, and a cluttered rear sidewalk. Went directly to a notice of violation, which was prepared on that date with a reinspection date of February 28th, 2022. I posted the notice at the site as well as at City Hall for the 10-day requirement, and copies were mailed, both certified and regular mail, to the address of the owner of record. The owner did contact me asking for an extension in order to obtain the necessary permits, which I did grant, and various permits were obtained. As renovation work was being done to the residence, I allowed further extensions to complete the needed repairs. My reinspection on August 30th showed no change to the violation, so a notice of hearing was prepared on that date, and the case was scheduled for the September Municipal Code Board meeting. I'd like to submit photographic evidence taken by me on February 14th and August 30th, 2022.
We'll accept those, thank you.
Also, the site is in compliance, and I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance.
Accept that too, thank you. Any questions for the code officer? There's no respondent, so seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
I do this one.
Go for it.
Go for it.
In case number 220800, I move that the city is proven by the greater weight of evidence. The following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 5232 Maple Hill Drive. Section 8-102, subsection 13B, Section 8-102-13, subsection C, and Section 8-102, subsection 18A. The motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the Code Enforcement Officer Doug Allen, along with any other witnesses, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Do we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Case number 220937, City versus Sumima Khan for the property located at 319 Brentwood Drive. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 828A1 permits, application required. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence, the notice of violation, and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated proactively on February 21st, 2022. My inspection at the time noted a dumpster in the driveway filled with construction debris, which appeared there was an interior renovation occurring at the residence. This time I posted a stop work order at the residence. On March 9th, 2022, I checked with Community Development and ascertained no permit had been issued. This time I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of March 25th, 2022. Posted notice at the home, the residence, as well as City Hall, both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner. On March 16, 2022, I received an email from the owner requesting an extension until April 25th, 2022, at which time the extension was granted. On July 12th, 2022, I was again contacted by the owner requesting an extension of an additional 30 days, which was granted. On August 12th, 2022, I met with Community Development, ascertained no permit was obtained, so it was set for the September MCEB. This time I would like to submit 3 photographs, notice posted at the door, construction debris in the driveway, along with affidavit of compliance. They did obtain an affidavit of compliance.
Okay. We'll accept that, thank you. Just out of curiosity, when did they get the permit?
Excuse me?
What date did they get the permit?
They got it on the 30th
Of August?
of August.
Okay. Very good. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, I'll do it.
Thank you.
All right, this along here. Okay. In case number 22-0937, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of the evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code did exist on the property located at 319 Brentwood Drive, code violation section 8-28-A-1, This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Jose Silva, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that there be no fine imposed because the violation was brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Number 22-1021, City versus Ron Mogerman, TT Holdings, LLC, for the property located at 12909 North 56th Street. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 8B, Commercial Sanitation Garbage. Case to be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing are both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on February the 24th, 2022. My inspection revealed the rear dumpster enclosure gate in disrepair. At that time, I left a door hanger with the reinspection date of March the 24th, 2022. My inspection on the 4th of April 2022 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 18th of April 2022. Affidavit of service was obtained by hand delivery to store manager Crystal Cater. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on May 2nd, 2022.
Accept that. Thank you.
Exhibit number 1 shows the rear dumpster gate enclosure is in disrepair. As of today's date, the site is not in compliance, and I would be seeking a ruling.
Any questions for the code officer?
Have you heard from the owner, the manager, anybody?
I've talked to the manager several times. They're at the store. She knows that it's broken. Each time that I visit the location, she is quick to send it up the chain as far as her district supervisor and higher ups. There's nothing really the store manager can do, Brian. It's higher ups that are having to make that decision to take care of it, and unfortunately, it's just not happening.
And this has been going on since March?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay.
Thank you.
In case number 22-1021, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exists on the property located at 12909 North 56th Street, a code violation, Section 8-166-8-B. This motion is based on the sworn testimony the board has received from Code Enforcement Officer Lori Smith, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violation be corrected on or before October 12th, 2022. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. Next case, please.
Next case will be case number 22.
That's it, just case number 22.
22-1767. City versus 12260 Group, Inc. For the property located at 12260 Morris Bridge Road. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 828A1 permits application required. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on April the 5th, 2022. My inspection revealed no permit pulled for installation of wood fencing on the south and east side of the property. At that time, I emailed the registered agent, Jag Panthanera, and advised of the reinspection date of April the 19th, 2022. My inspection on May 17th, 2022 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with the compliance date of the 1st of June, 2022. Affidavit of service was obtained by email confirmation from the registered agent, Jag Panthanera. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the stop work order for no fence permit in Central Square.
Accept that, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I did have contact from the registered agent, Mr. Panthanera. He is working with the contractor to try to get the permit obtained. They're asking for an extension to bring the property into compliance. I can submit his email, sir, if you would like, for the board.
Please.
When you say extension, do you mean past the standard 30 days?
Yes, sir. He's asking for an extension. You guys normally, unless it's a health and safety, normally 30 days
Right.
to bring the property in compliance. Yes, sir. That's what he is asking for. I believe that he can do so prior to the 30 days. For whatever reason, they're running into little snags here and there, but given a little bit more time, I do feel that they will bring the property into compliance by the next code board meeting.
Okay,
I have a question.
go ahead.
Yes, sir.
This is from a curiosity. To get does it take a long time to get a fencing permit?
No, sir, it doesn't. Usually it's pretty quick. It's just if you have all the documentation that community development is asking for, the process goes very quickly, usually within 2 to 3 days max. But again, if you don't have everything that they're requesting, that's going to definitely slow it up, sir.
Has the fence work all been done, completed?
Yes, sir, it has.
Just have a question. I haven't seen this before, Exhibit 1. What is that?
That's the stop work order, Samir, in Navaline that shows the stop work order that there was no permit pulled for the installation of the fence. I had presented the case for the fence being in disrepair previously, and advised this is a lot of wood fencing that a permit would definitely need to be required. Unfortunately, it just hadn't happened.
Sure, I guess, but a stop work tag would be placed at the property.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I see. This is not in place of that, right?
No, sir. It's just showing the board that there is a stop work order in our system for no.
Kind of moot because the fence is done, right?
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is. I mean,
Part of the process.
it's in there. You know, they're going to have to
Now,
pull an after the fact
was the
permit.
fence completed when the stop work order was issued?
At that point, yes, sir, it was.
Okay.
They were pretty quick in getting it done. Again, I had advised the registered agent that it would need a permit. This is a lot of
They didn't
fence.
violate the stop work order, they just failed to get a permit.
Did
Yes,
they
sir.
get a fine with that too?
It just depends. Now they're going to have to pull after the fact permit, sir, and that's strictly up to the building department.
Any other questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 22-1767, I move the city is proven by a greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist on the property located at 12260 Morris Bridge Road. Applicable code sections 8-28 subsection A, subsection 1. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that said violations be corrected on or before October 12th, 2022. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violations continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Next Case number 221889, City versus Nihad Darwish for the property located at 6319 East 113th Avenue. The case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12861E6 fences appearance. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Lori Smith. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman and board members. Lori Smith, Code Compliance. This case originated proactively on April the 11th, 2022. My inspection revealed the east and north side vinyl fence stained with mildew. At that time, I left a door hanger with a compliance date of the 26th of April, 2022. My inspection on May 2nd, 2022 revealed no change. Therefore, a notice of violation was prepared with a compliance date of the 23rd of May, 2022. No one was at home, so I posted the notice letter at the front door and requested copies be sent certified and first-class mail to the owner of record. I also requested a copy be posted at City Hall for the 10-day requirement. At this time, I would like to submit photographic evidence of the violation taken by me on April the 11th, 2022.
Accept that, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Exhibit number 1 shows a notice letter posted at the front door. Exhibit number 2, 3, and 4 shows the vinyl fence staining on the property. As of today's date, the site is now in compliance. Mr. Chairman, at this time, I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance, and I would just be looking for a finding, sir.
Picture so we can see the difference?
The picture should be on there.
No, she means the
The final, the clean
Okay,
fence.
clean one, the clean fence.
The clean. Oh. It's pretty. It's
bet it is.
really, really pretty.
Thank you for that.
May I submit?
Any other, yes, we'll accept that, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Okay, I'll do this.
Thank you.
In case number 221889, I move that the city has proven by greater weight of the evidence that the following violation of the City of Temple Terrace code did exist on the property located at 6319 East 113 Avenue, applicable code section 12-861E6. This motion is based on that sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record for this hearing. I further move that there will be no fine imposed because the violation were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in,
I had one discussion.
Okay.
So the sanitation grass was taken care of before. We have 2 violations on this.
You don't have a.
no,
Oh, that was the one they checked.
no, you got an email.
Yeah, we got
Oh,
an
okay,
email.
yeah.
There was an email earlier this week that 10-3B was removed.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right, sorry about that.
It's important to read your emails.
I just go by, I go by this list. This is the.
Good catch, good catch.
Okay, so we have a motion, we got a second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Next case, please.
Case number 222605, City versus New Plaza LLC for the property located at 8650 North 56th Street. Case is before the board based on alleged violation of Section 12986 signs maintenance. The case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Good evening again, Mr. Chairman, Board Member Jose Silva. This case originated proactively on May 16, 2022. My inspection at the time noted the base of the freestanding Metro PCS sign at the corner of Grove Hill and 56th Street damaged. This time I left the door hanger with a compliance date of May 30th, 2022. My inspection on June 6, 2022 noted the sign still damaged. At this time I completed a notice of violation with a compliance date of June 24, 2022. I posted the notice at the business as well as City Hall. Also mailed copies both certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner and agent. My inspection on July 12, 2022 noted the sign still damaged. This time I'd like to submit photographic evidence of the notice posted at the business and the damaged sign.
We'll accept that, thank you.
As of today's date, the property's still out of compliance, and I'm seeking a ruling.
Good. Any questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Well, I mean, have you heard any word from them on what's?
No, sir, and I'm surprised, because in the past, when I've given them notices, they've contacted me. I have yet to be contacted on this one.
So any attempt to clean up, it just looks, still looks
Looks
just like
just like
that?
that if you drive there, by there today.
Any other questions for the code officer? Going once, twice. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll do this one.
Thank you.
In case number 22-2605, I move that the city has proven by the greater weight of evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace City Code exist on the property located at 8650 North 56th Street with the applicable violation code section 12-986. This motion is based on the sworn testimony this board has received from the code enforcement officer, Jose Silva, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavit, and the notice of violation, all which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that the said violation be corrected on or before October 12, 2022. If the respondent does not comply with this order on or before the day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continue past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors, the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violations, any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and second, any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays, motion carries. Believe that finishes our new business.
We've won
Oh, we got
One
one
more?
more at the bottom.
last case.
Last case.
4110.
Ah, gotcha, okay.
Case number 224110, City versus F&S Home Investment LLC for the property located at 7607 North Sanibel Circle. Cases before the board based on alleged violation of Section 10(3)B sanitation grass weeds and Section 1034 sanitation keep premises clean. Case will be prosecuted this evening by Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva. City has evidence that the notice of violation and notice of hearing were both properly served.
Thank you.
Good evening again, Jose Silva, Code Compliance Officer. This case originated on July 27, 2022. My inspection noted the front yard grass to be overgrown along with debris accumulation in the front yard. Door hangers were left with a compliance date of August 1st, 2022. My inspection on August 1st, 2022 revealed no change, so a notice of violation was completed with a compliance date of August 12th, 2022. Posted notice at the home as well as City Hall, also mailed both copies regular certified and regular mail to the address of the registered owner and agent. My inspection on August 15, 2022 revealed the yard grass to still be overgrown along with the debris accumulation in the yard. This time I would like to submit photographic evidence of the overgrown grass and the debris accumulation and the posting of the notice on the front door.
We'll accept that, thank you.
As of today's date, it's in partial compliance. The yard grass is still overgrown, but the debris accumulation has been cleared.
So 1034 is no longer an issue?
1034 is no longer an issue.
Okay. Any questions for the code officer?
Have they said anything about if they're gonna cut the grass, or
Excuse me, sir?
have they said anything if they're just gonna cut the
Nothing.
grass?
It's
or-
been cut one time, but it's again become overgrown.
I may have misheard you, but I think the 10-3, oh, wait.
1034
1034
is
is
the grass.
the accumulation.
So we're good? All righty.
The sanitation issue was corrected.
1034 has been
Corrected.
corrected.
I'd like to submit an affidavit of compliance for 1034.
Okay, we'll accept that, thank you. 10-3 subsection B is still an open violation.
So the grass grown again, but they probably cleaned it, but the grass is grown.
Whatever, it's still in violation.
It's still in violation.
Oop, I got it.
Okay. Any other questions for the code officer? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
All right, do it.
Thank you.
So in case number 22-4110, I move that the city has proven by a greater weight of the evidence the following violations of the City of Temple Terrace Code exist at the property located at 7607 North Sanibel Circle. The code violations are section 10-3-B and section 10-34. This motion is based on the sworn testimony the board has received from Code Compliance Officer Jose Silva, along with any other evidence, including photos, affidavits, and the notice of violation, all of which is received and entered as part of the record of this hearing. I further move that no fine be imposed for the violation of Code Section 10-34 because the violations were brought into compliance prior to the date of this hearing. I further move that the remaining violation be corrected on or before October 12th, 2022. If the respondent does not comply with the order on or before that day, they are ordered to pay a fine for each and every day the violation continues past the date set for compliance. Upon considering the following factors: the gravity of the violation, any actions taken by the violator to correct the violation, and any previous violations committed by the violator, I move that the fine be $25 per day.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No nays. Motion carries. We are now finished with the new business.
Yes. Okay, unfinished business. We already did the first case.
Yep.
The second case, case number 22313, City versus Tanger Terrace LLC, for the property located at 12318 North 53rd Street. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Director Baroni for Section 828A1, dated August 11th, 2022. Case number 220748, City versus Tanger Terrace for the property located at 12308 North 53rd Street. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Director Baroni for Section 828A1, dated August 11th, 2022. Case number 220749, City versus Tanger Terrace for the property located at 12310 North 53rd Street. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Director Baroni for Section 828A1, dated August 11th, 2022. Case number 220784, City versus Tanger Terrace for the property located at 12316 North 53rd Street. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Director Baroni for Section 828A1, dated August 11th, 2022. Case number 221432, City versus Saknaran and Chinjit Juklam for the property located at 5112 East 122nd Street. An affidavit of noncompliance was submitted by Officer Smith for Section 828A1, dated August 11th,
Great.
2022.
Very good.
Case number 223423, City versus Douglas William Tippins III for the property located at 8710 Beverly Drive. An affidavit of compliance was submitted by Officer Silva for Section 81022, 81021, and 2291, dated September 9th, 2022.
Very good. Hit a home run this month,
Could
guys.
we possibly get a little more information about what happened with that last case? Because that's the one where there's somebody actually showed up at city council and had said how dire the circumstances were for the neighbors.
That 3423?
The last one, 3423.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious how it was resolved.
Good evening again, Jose Silva, Code Compliance. The woman that was here, Ms. Hurt, Cricket Hurt, at the council meeting, she was here tonight, and I explained it all to her. I met with the new owner yesterday who purchased the property.
So it was sold.
So it's sold. He had all the paperwork with him. Today, I searched the clerk's office. There's a warranty deed that's been recorded on the 9th. So the property's been sold. He's in the process of getting with the courthouse now to try to get the eviction rolling to get them out of the house.
So they're still occupying,
They're still occupying the house.
He's just going through the. he's
So it's
going-
only in compliance because it's sold.
but
So change of ownership. Now we got to give the new owner, like I explained to Mr. Nunez, we're going to give you some time to get him out of there. He has my business card with the email address. He said as soon as he starts the paperwork, he will submit paperwork to me via email to show me he's in the process of doing it.
how did the neighbor feel about it? I'm just curious, does anybody?
I spoke to her outside and I gave her the complete fill-in on everything. She's happy that it's been sold.
Okay, because I know she was really upset about some of the things that were happening. Yeah, she was scared and stuff.
She was here earlier.
Yeah, I saw her, that's why I was asking.
Wondering why she
I
left.
expected her to,
You must have done something good.
I explained the facts to her, so she was happy with what I had to say to her.
Very good. Well, thank you.
yeah, thanks.
Any other board action? Okay, new business? Any new business? I have one item. You guys might have noticed I was scrolling through my phone earlier, was trying to find an email from Pam.
You were playing Angry Birds.
What's that?
I just assumed you were playing Angry Birds.
No, no. No, that was a good movie, though. So, you know, we don't have a whole lot of these types of cases, but if you remember, we had that big tree case some time ago. Where
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, now, which one?
the one where the guy falsified the letter.
Oh, yeah, the one where they,
Yeah.
yeah, I was just curious what it, I was, yeah.
Well, this isn't that one, but in the city of Tampa, a company called Miller and Sons illegally cut down, they say illegally cut down, and the court upheld that, 28 trees, which is very similar to the case we had back in 2019. The city fined Miller and Sons $234,000.
Yeah.
Okay, that was just upheld in the courts, and so now the Miller and Sons has to pay $234,000 in fines for cutting down 28 trees.
Yeah, we were more like
And
100 and some
it's
thousand.
very similar to our case. This was on near Gandy Boulevard. They were given a cease and desist, and they decided to ignore it and cut the trees down anyway. So they may, yeah, but as of right now, they're,
Any-
yeah, I'm sure they will, I mean, so, yeah. But I mention it just because it did ring some bells with our previous case, and just to show you that,
Yeah.
you know, large fines are upheld, so.
Is that case still in litigation, or do we know?
I think I think Pam settled that.
With the one we had?
Yeah, the one we
The
had.
100 plus
It was
thousand?
dismissed.
It was dismissed, yeah.
The case was dismissed?
Yeah,
The appeal.
Oh, the appeal.
was,
So-
yeah. Yeah, we fined them, they appealed our decision, and then that case got dismissed,
yeah, and I think the other one did too, the
Yeah.
Jack action.
yeah.
Okay, so they're on the hook for 100 and whatever what fine was. Good, okay,
So the courts are upholding tree violations.
good.
That's all I've got. Anybody have anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're done. Thank you, gentlemen.